Representative, you claim that this is a loophole in the law. It's your interpretation, the governor's interpretation, that people are using a loophole in this law, the Right of Conscience Act.
That the act is being used incorrectly.
You've said it before, that there's a loophole. This is being used by individuals as a loophole, using a loophole in this law.
Yes, it's being used as a loophole. It's being used as a loophole.
Yes. So if there's a question about this, shouldn't this be settled in the courts? We have cases all over the state of Illinois challenging this law. Shouldn't the courts decide, is this a loophole? Is this the intent of the law? Or are you trying to circumvent these court cases, trying to protect the governor's position on mandating vaccines?
This will be settled in the courts. This is our attempt to make sure that the courts understand our intent.
It's your intent.
Our intent, the legislature.
Yeah, but it wasn't the intent of the people that drafted this bill.
Clearly
originally.
It was.
Well, we've read.
It's only been used. It's only ever been used around the issues of reproductive rights for healthcare providers and protecting.
Maybe there's an unintended consequence back when they drafted and passed this bill. Maybe there was something in this bill that now we're faced with during this pandemic, that this unintended consequence is that individuals could use this right of conscience to not be mandated to take a vaccine. And shouldn't this be left to the courts to decide?
It will be decided by the courts.
No, you're trying to decide it here tonight.
No, we're trying.
You're trying to
clarify
force
the intent.
You're trying to force your version of what the intent of the original bill was.
We're clarifying the intent.
Were you here when they drafted and did the original bill?
No, I was not. You were not. None of us were, but...
Somebody was.
None of us were. But Mary, I don't know. I don't think Mary was there. But clearly it's been, the way that it's been implemented over the last 40 years, the intent is clear.
But this is an initiative of the governor. This is an initiative of the governor to respond to the uprising, as he calls it, to the charlatans or whatever, that people that don't want to take this vaccine, they have a health-related, I guess, belief that they shouldn't take this vaccine. The governor's not happy about it. He's not happy about being in court, and he wants...
Representative Caulkins, Representative Freeze, would you give him 3 minutes? Representative Caulkins, you are the second to last speaker, then Representative Batnick. Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So isn't this a way to get around these court cases?
No, it's to clarify the intent.
But isn't that what the courts are going to do? It's to clarify the intent. The legal branch, the third branch of government that settles these disputes, why aren't we letting them do their job and let the chips fall where they may? If this is such an emergency, if this is not what this bill ever intended, why not let the courts settle this?
They're going to be clarifying the intent based on, they're going to be looking to us to see what we do as well.
So you're trying to influence the court's decision?
We're trying to clarify the intent of this act.
No, you're trying to pass a bill to influence the decision of the judicial branch. You weren't here, we weren't here. This bill was passed many, many years ago. And now, because of this, because of the court challenges and the interpretation of this bill by so many people in this state, you want to change or impose your side's interpretation, 60 of you tonight, or however many, to change the interpretation of what this bill is and circumvent the court.
No, we're basing it on the 40 years of experience we have with this law.
What? I'm sorry?
We're basing the clarification on the 40 years of experience we have had with the Healthcare Right of Conscience Act.
Well, we haven't had COVID for 40 years.
Representative Caulkins,
Yes.
would you mind going to the bill?
Yes, I do mind, but I will. To the bill.
To the bill.
This bill is an attempt by the administration to circumvent the courts. We have many, many cases all around this state of people who have taken their right of conscience to a court to decide their fate. This is an end run around the judicial branch. We shouldn't be doing it. This isn't going to help things. It's not going to make anyone any safer. And all it's going to do is make people dig in their heels and be more resistant to taking this vaccine. And I urge a no vote.